Good morning and welcome to Gulfstream today. Brian Nadeau and Samantha Perry with you on what is a little bit of a chilly morning here in Hollandale Beach, but you can see the weather's beautiful. Fast main track, firm turf course at Tapeta as well. We are happy to have you aboard as we kick off another 5-day race week here in the championship meet. The weather looks phenomenal. We hope to see you out here. Good card of Wednesday racing. Of course, mandatory day was on Sunday. Thanks for everybody for firing along. Big pool, over $3 million. And what that means is we'll start anew today.
We will indeed, and Ron will have that ticket. A little bit later, it starts in race number 4 on the 9 race card.
Yep, a lot to get into today, a lot to look back on over the weekend, as well as, we're just less than now, right? 2 weeks out, or no, about 2.5 weeks out, from the Pegasus World Cup on January 25th. The noms will come out again today with a little tweak or two. We'll get into that a little bit later on. Some exciting news as well, with a couple of the Pegasus turf races are now going to be automatic qualifiers for a couple big races over in New Zealand. We'll get into that a little bit later on as well, but let's just kick things off here in the early pick 5. We're about 56 minutes to post. We're on a firm turf course in race number 1. The rails at 38 feet. You are the rail aficionado. That's a new one to me.
It is a new one.
Right?
Yeah, it's
okay.
new. Yep.
Kind of right in the middle, I guess, right? Not terrible, not for the outside horses, not ideal either. But let's take a look at my early pick 5 here. I've got a $48 ticket. The beauty of today's card, there were 3 scratches on it, on the entirety of the card. So Pete won't have a lot to do upstairs. I didn't lose anything. That's ideal. 4 horses in the opener. Race number 2, the 4 horses as well, with the 1, Singing Sandra. That's my long shot on the card today. Race number 3, another 1, Senorita Nomas, in a race where literally you could go all of them and, well, I guess you'd hit, but not with a lot of confidence. Race 4, I've got the 7 on top. That's Operation Thunderbolt. We've got a replay there. And in race number 5, 41, is your Order Glory Hallelujah on top for Carlos David on a maiden special weight drop. That's a $48 early pick 4 ticket. Let's now get into the opener. As I mentioned already, 7.5 furlongs on a firm turf course, rails at 38 feet. It's a $35,000 maiden claimer. The 7 preciseness is out, okay, 1 of 3 scratches on the card. And the 13, Cue the Music, draws in and will run. So make sure you note that. Cue the Music is in this race. The 7 preciseness is out of this race. Samantha's got Goddess Soteria on top for a Kathleen O'Connell barn. It's going very, very good. And she comes out of the same race as my top pick, Cam's Princess. So let's bring it up and we'll show you what's going on.
Yeah, and there's not a whole lot going on, but I think what's important to note in this race is I think that Goddess Soteria just got tired. She made the first run here. Where,
she was in a tricky spot.
Yeah, she was. And Cam's Princess was just kind of sitting there a little bit loaded. But I think that Cam's Princess, we've seen a lot of what she can do. I know that this is her second start now on the turf, so she's liable to improve. But this is also the second time that Goddess Soteria will be stretching out to 2 turns, which I think is significant.
Yeah, I think both of them are logical in here, and I certainly used your top pick. She was my 4th runner in here. I thought both of them ran, all things considered, when you look at this replay. Even Cam's Princess, I don't want to call it trouble, but she didn't necessarily have a full seam hitting the top of the stretch. No. She was going to be second anyway, so it's maybe it's moot. But I thought both of them acquitted themselves pretty nicely. And as you said, perfectly, not only the first turf try for your horse, but the first route try as well. And Cam's Princess, that was her first turf try too. So, yeah, I think both are logical in here. You've got her in second. Okay, we got the 12 as well. Just a bad post for Laguna Seca, but I think maybe Irad's got the speed to clear. I would think that's probably what he's thinking about.
Yeah, you would think so. Yeah. It just probably depends on how the break plays out, but it seems like if you feel you've got the best horse here and you're taking that big drop from the maiden special weight to the maiden claiming, just break and see how it plays out and try to get over.
Yeah, he's got Nablina, who you've gotten fourth down on the inside, and Amicio's aboard here. He's probably going as well. I always call this the bad post, good post for like a Laguna Seca, because Irad's kind of sort of has to go from out there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you are going to be running the risk of being very, very wide into the first turn. The early pick 4 kicks off in race number 2. TT pick 3 will be back on Friday. So Samantha's got an early pick 4 today. Let's take a look at her ticket, then we'll get into this race.
Yeah, I've got a $36 play here. This race, well, we'll get into it in a minute. Race number 3, my long shot, is the 4, Shibuji. I'm not sure what the price will be because those are 2 scratches in that
Yeah.
race. This is my best bet in race number 4, Live to Ride, and in race number 5, Throw a Dart at it, but it landed on Rock Hard Rose on top, but I don't trust this race at all. It's a $36 play.
6 deep to round it out. Let's get
Yeah.
back to this one. So you got my pick on top too, Singing Sandra?
I do.
Yeah, this is your kind of move here. 6 furlongs on the main track, 8K 3Ls. Fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and up. Excuse me. It's a clean race. Got West Bank now, who's all of a sudden streaking in here. But this is my long shot in Samantha's top pick, Singing Sandra. It's been a while since she tried the main track, and she didn't do any good on it. But I think she's a better horse now, right?
I think so too. They just gave her a couple shots real early on
Right.
on the dirt track, and that was with previous connections. I think that now, like you said, she's just a better horse, and she's bred for it too. She's got the breeding in it, and her dam ran quite well on the dirt.
And she's going to catch a group with plenty of speed,
Yeah.
and she's got speed herself. She's not going to be on the lead by any stretch of the imagination, but I think Jesus Rios can keep her close. Sometimes we worry about these
Right.
Tapeta routers cutting back. Do they get blasted early? But I think she's got the ability to at least lay close. I can't believe I'm saying this, but she was my best bet last time. The race goes clearly through West Bank, one of the biggest refusers in racing now, has won 2 in a row, and she's got it going on. She's going to go off the claim for Nolan grandfather Ken Ramsey today.
Yeah, this is she all of a sudden just decided she wanted to win, and she's put 2 together, and now let's see what 3 in a row's like.
Yeah, and she's got a hint of a rating gear too,
Yeah.
and I love what they're doing here because obviously this is Nolan owns and trains, excuse me, not Ken Ramsey, Nolan. And I like what they're doing here, and that just right back at the right level, maybe we get a quick return on investment. Like I said, the purses are amped up now. It's great to see, and she's front and center.
Yeah.
How about that? Does she run out of room? That's what my worry with her, because she just missed getting up at 7 last time.
Yeah, she did. Edgar Perez will really have to get her going,
Yeah.
get the wheels spinning a little bit quicker. And she was 0 for 9 last year, so that's hard to play a horse like her on top.
I agree. Race number 3 now is a dartboard race, a mile.
yeah.
12-5 maiden claimers, 3-year-old fillies will go at it. This is the only other scratches on the card,
Yep.
and there are 2 of them. Shines Madeline, the 2 is out. Coop Shoop, the 7 is out. So we're going to go to post with a field of 6, and I'll be darned if I can figure anything out because they all look the same, and they're all very tough to trust. You're on Shibuji. You said your long shot.
Yeah.
Sadly for you, you're not going to get it anymore. I don't think.
No, I don't think so either, because she's one that kind of makes sense in general, probably in the top 5, but now with the scratches, there's not anything creative to add about any horse in this field other than the fact that she's only been on the Gulfstream Park dirt track 1 time. It was a 2nd place finish. It wasn't a strong race by any means, but at least she showed some will.
Yeah.
And maybe that'll work for her today.
Yeah, some of these horses have been getting bet a little bit from Jeff Hiles and Belterra too. We'll see. If nothing else, I think Senorita Nomas is supposed to be on the lead. I don't see a lot of speed in here.
No.
And I don't think that's a bad thing against this kind of group.
No, because if you get some speed, maybe you just run away from the field and they don't come back to you.
Yeah, Queen of Soul is lightly raced for Orsino. Joe's having a good championship meet. She'll try the main track and stretch out. That's probably not a bad thing.
No, the sire is yet to have a winner. Isn't that surprising?
Seeking the Soul?
Yeah.
Chuck 50 homebred, I believe. Wow. On his
well, first time out, sorry.
First time
out.
out,
for
yeah.
16, yeah.
Yeah. Let's give a shout to
Actually, no. There are no winners yet.
No winners.
Yep.
All right. Let's give a shout quickly to Antonio Sano. He's got the 6. Guna Diva got his 1,000th win the other day. That was great to see. One of the good guys around here. And quietly, he's having a very good championship meet as well. He's got the Hall of Famer Javier Castellano aboard. Okay, 3 down, 6 to go when we come back. And as we mentioned at the top here, the Rainbow 6 will start anew today. Should be a very, very healthy pool. When we come back, we'll take a look at Ron's ticket. Stay tuned.
They're off.
Win big with new DRF All Access past performances.
With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access Past Performances. Go to drf.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today. Brian and Samantha with you as we kick off another 5-day race week here on a beautiful Wednesday in Hollandale Beach. We hope to see you out. As we mentioned, the Rainbow Six will kick off here in race number 4 after a huge pool on Sunday where they sent over $3 million in. We'll start anew here. Ronnie's got the ticket. He'll be out here for the opener. Let's take a look at what he's got going on here on the 2160. You know, that's half of 4320. I don't want to get you too, I don't want to explode your mind here too early in the day. That is half of 4320.
Well, there you have it.
Trust
and
me.
I believe you. I'm not going to try to go a different way and argue with that. Race 8, though, you see that's his single, the 3 Lorice for George Weaver. Blinkers go on this filly as she's making her comeback, last seen in October in a very competitive Tapeta race. And then in the finale, just too deep for him, the 7 and the 8. The 8 is my single, the 7 a Nell for Carlos David. This horse is not too shabby, I think, in this race here for Carlos David. Adding the Lasix on for these 3-year-olds can kind of change the trajectory of these races. So 2160 the play as we start anew, and a good day to get involved because they fire away in it, and it's a good day to take it down.
Yeah, you know, there's no estimated pool or anything, but if you're going to ask this guy, I would say $75,000 is right in the ballpark, especially where we're, as we should be, about the only game in town today, and all eyes are on us anyway. So I think we're going to have a very healthy pool today. Let's get going here now in race number 4. We'll go 1 mile and an eighth on the Tapeta. These are maiden claimers, too. 17.5 for 4-year-olds and up. Again, no scratches or changes here. We're not going to run this distance very often.
No.
It could be an attrition kind of race, and you're on the inside with Live to Ride, who might just try to see this out on the front end.
It looks like the only horse with any semblance of speed in this race.
Yep.
And from the rail, Javier Castellano has already been on this horse before, so he knows, okay, we're going to have to go from here.
Best bet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think that there's I don't think that this is maybe the best horse in this race, but the fact that this horse just has some speed is a good sign.
Yeah, and I kind of misspoke earlier. The Jeff Hiles horses are the ones they've been betting, and you can see this horse at 6-5, 2 starts back, and ran very, very well in what was his lone local Tapeta run. I am on the 7, Operation Thunderbolt. Let's just take a look at the race. Now, this is Operation Thunderbolt, and Take Your Seats went at it here. This was the turf race, but I want to show you Operation Thunderbolt. And I think this horse had more run than it appeared. Or look at, he's checking back here, and Edwin's got really nowhere to go. And look at him idling. You can't do this on the turf and expect to make it back up when you're basically giving up first run to everybody. In hindsight, I probably should have made this horse 5-2 and Take Your Seats 3-1 as opposed to the other way. But Operation Thunderbolt is 23-1 in that race, and you know they bet these DJ horses with both hands. This horse has never taken a nickel of money. Irad's going to get aboard today, though.
Yeah, that's going to change things quite a bit. But the last 2 races, this horse has wanted to go, and every jockey that's been on him has just strangled him down. I think he wants to be a little bit more in control than he's gotten to be, so it'll be interesting to see what Irad does with him. Yeah,
and the other reason I did make the 5 favorite is because now I don't know if Take Your Seats can get back to the Tapeta race last March. If he does, he will literally win this race by 8 lengths. A long time ago, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, take him out of the barn for 17.5.
Yeah, that's not a great sign. Yeah,
tough price to take on a short underlaid price to take. And you know the Brown barn is the horses are running, they're not winning, but they are making dents. So it's gonna turn sooner rather than later. Late pick 5 kicks off in race number 5. We'll go snappy 5 on the Tapeta here. $25,000 maiden claimers. Again, clean field for the 3-year-old, newly turned 3-year-old fillies. Let's take a look at Samantha's late pick 5 ticket, and we'll get back into this one.
Yeah, and I've got some stronger opinions here. So in this race 5, I'm spreading. Race 6, I took the all ball. There was one horse I was going to leave out. At some point, this is gambling. I'm not going to just leave one out. So race number 7, I am just singling Mischief in Motion. Race number 8, too deep for me, but I do have the 5 on top, Obliging. I've got Ron Single in there of Larison in the finale, the 8 more for sure. If it's not her, I don't know. It could be anybody here. So a $36 play for me.
Race 9, more for sure.
Yeah.
Braille Barn's starting to get going. You better take
yeah.
note of that. Back to race 5 now, and there is some difficult. You can see Samantha's early double in this sequence is not easy at all. So let's go with down on the inside. Rock Hard Rose is 9-5 on the morning line, but man, it's Safi, it's Irad, it's Lasix. I get all of it, but boy, I don't know. She doesn't have to win for me.
No, she doesn't, but at least she's going to cut back here, and she's got speed. 2-turn speed, but actually her Kentucky Downs race, which is a super quick track, she showed really quick speed. So I've got to hope for my sake today on the betting card that the rail and the speed's good on the Tapeta, which it should be.
She's going to break. She has to break running. Excuse me. I'm on the 4, Glory Hallelujah. I don't have anything clever here. They didn't bet her at all on debut. This is an admitted stab. But Louis going to get aboard, right? I think that's a pretty big deal. Lasix, Carlos David, 25% second out, and he's got a real pension at 30%. For the Tapeta. Maybe we wake up today. I don't know.
Yeah, she can. And the fact that, you get Louis Saez aboard is a great sign.
Nana Nana Boo Boo, the big drop here. Finally, after 5 maiden special weight starts where she was non-competitive, she's down here for a quarter today.
Yeah, going to try the Tapeta for the first time, but has drilled across it the last couple of times, which is a good sign.
Yeah, I think that is positive. She legged up over it, if nothing else. Orquita Real. I think this is a dangerous horse, actually. She's going to add Lasix. I like her post, and she's going to get overlooked. She's not that far behind anybody in here.
No, not really. When you look at this race, if you looked at her individually, you would think no chance. But when you look at the race as a whole, she looks a lot more appealing.
Look at her within the body of the race, and she's got a puncher's chance and then some. Late pick 4 now. In race number 6, let's get to a fast main track, 6 furlongs. We're at the bottom here, 4-year-olds and up. Again, it's a clean 6-pack. Let's take a look at my late pick 4 ticket. This is the old pyramid here at $24. We'll throw a blanket on race 8. Race 7, the top pick is the 7 horse. That's Mischief in Motion. We've got some AM activity for that one there for her. Race 8, there's your blanket. I'm on the 5, Obliging. It's a stab. I want to be alive after that race. And in race number 9, I've got the 7 on top, and that is a Nell, again, for Carlos David. So we'll show you a replay there. Let's get back now into race number 6. There are probably different ways people can go in here, but I feel like we're on the right horse. This is my best bet. I feel like we're on a horse that might win by 4 or finish 7th, too.
Yeah,
right?
There's going to be no in between for Apollo Code.
Yeah.
Because the races that he's been in have been way tougher than any type of horse he's going to meet here today. But is it going to set up for him? That's what I don't know. He's got a long stride. I loved him in the last race.
You played
November.
him in that
I did.
race.
Yeah.
He was in way over his head against 3-year-old stakes kind of horses. Mr. Skylight will win a couple of them this year. For Riley Mott, Icelander's good, and Divietta, I don't know when he's coming back, but boy, was he good off the long layoff. But, this is Delgado and Leah Farm, and they've got a lot of, let's just be blunt about it, better horses than this.
Exactly.
And if this horse is not in the program, you can take him for $62.50 and we'll move on. And that's kind of what we're hoping today, that, he can win and they'll get out and they'll get a nice purse here and get claimed and be all done with them. With that being said, he's a tough horse to trust.
Very.
On his form.
Yeah.
I'll go with Solomon's Gold. Let's show the replay. This is a race 2 back now where I had Solomon's Gold this day, and this was just kind of a layover. He's just going to bottom out this field. The point out of this race is you only need one of these guys, and it's Solomon's Gold, right?
I think so. Now, in my ticket, I spread, so I get your point here. Just sometimes I feel like in these races, which this race specifically that we're showing is a 62.50 claimer, I feel like they can kind of take turns beating each other a little bit. I don't know.
He went over to Tampa, and Santino and Amity, they know how to read a condition book, so they shipped him across the state. for 10, and I'm not going to pretend to tell you I know everybody out of that race, but he was 2-1, and I don't know, he was kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
I would have thought he would have went over there and won.
Yeah, you would think so.
So now they're back. They're out on this horse, so I don't think it's a big deal. But I'm, to me, this is a one. You can't use both to me because then what you're doing is you're doubling the ticket. But well, you use spread, so that's a different story.
Right.
You're going to try to split them with Gone Nuts, I guess.
Yeah, I just think that the Tapeta race, that was against a tough group of 10K claimers.
Right.
We saw that was the first, that was with Rohan, the replay that we showed there. And the rail, I didn't like the rail for him that day on the dirt, so maybe we'll get a different situation here today.
Well, you're going to get a nice price, that's for sure, especially if you can split up this exacta regardless of what way you're playing it. Let's get to race 7 now, and this is a good one. This is a maiden special weight, 5.5. On the Tapeta for the newly turned 3-year-old fillies and a field of 7. A lot of different ways to go. You've got the 9-5 morning line favorite, Mischief in Motion. We both have on top. Very pricey daughter of Into Mischief.
Oh, yeah.
Let's pull this morning work up. It's nice that we were able to get something out of this horse. Now, the stablemate, the workmate, is going to be in tomorrow. But watch this horse. This is Cantor.
Yep.
Okay, we got Cantor first. The Pletcher firster, who watched this extend this work out, Samantha. I wasn't all that enamored with this.
Nope. The horse that she's working with was second in a maiden special weight at Tampa. If Todd Pletcher's going to run one at Tampa instead of here, I don't think it's the greatest sign, but she was all out working next to that horse and just couldn't get it done.
No, and she got past quite convincingly if we let that roll a little bit. The only time you want the Todd Tampa horses if they're going over there to run 2 turns and then coming over here. If you're sprinting, I don't want them. Now let's show Mischief in Motion, because conversely, this I thought was a pretty polished and pretty strong drill. She's just kind of toying with the win after win, who, again, we'll see tomorrow.
Yeah, and this was at the end of November, so a long time, but she's not even let out a notch by any means. A very good-looking filly. I know the barn's very excited for her. Very professional, which is a good sign. Everything that you want to see. Now, the outside post position, not ideal, but the rest of the field is really not that great.
No.
So as long as she does everything right, which she has been in the AM, you think that she's on the right track.
Yeah, and I, based on what we just showed you, too, she is supposed to be favored.
Yeah.
In here.
Absolutely.
I know you got Todd, you got Irad on Cantora, but she is, especially post position, she's supposed to be the favorite in here. And I think, like you said, they like her, and I think she's going to be a runner.
Yep.
You've got the 6, Chloe. Here's another firster now for this one for Barboza, unraced 16-year-old dam.
I know, the 16-year-old mare to me is like, woof, wild. There's something clever other than the fact that 'tis the law. They've been striking.
They have been. You've said that.
Yeah, very hot. And you get Louis Saez aboard. I think if you're reaching out for a jockey like him on a first-time starter, now she has been scratched before, so read into that what you will, but there she is today.
Yeah, Tote Board might tell you a little bit something here. The barn 9% on debut. Let's see, anybody else? How about we'll call her the other Pletcher, the one, Amande? It's a Wertheimer Brothers homebred.
Yep.
Dan was all Euro.
Yeah, there was one work on her on the 16th of November, and it wasn't a lot. She wouldn't switch into her right lead, so I don't know, just some kind of willing to play against her. But again, it's the 16th of November. So much changes from these works that we like. Even Money and Mischief in Motion. Pardon me.
Right.
That was for late November. There's nothing current on her, so it's kind of still a guessing game.
Team Clement's got a $250,000 Daughter of McLean's Music. That's the 5 by anticipation for Reeves Racing and in the group. Amicia aboard. I mean, this is a tote board kind of race, I think, right?
Yeah.
Check it out. Race number 8 now, late double here. 5 on the Tapeta. It's an optional claimer for the 3-year-old fillies. It's clean. A field of 8. We're on the same horse. Obliging. This is a little bit of a stab, I thought. This is a total guessing game. We got good quality turf horses trying the Tapeta here today, right?
Yeah, this is a big puzzle of a race, but to me, this is the filly. It looks like from her running lines that, she's got speed. That's going 2 turns.
Right.
Today, they will be gunning it on the front end, and I think she'll set a perfect trip.
Yeah, I like this post for her as well. She's got a hint of class to her. She ran pretty well in the Ardeer Page. The Wait a While, not so much, but she got dueled into the ground, and like you said, I don't think she's going to be part part of the
No.
pace today. So the horse to beat is clearly Loris or Weaver, and who's come out live, and Alex Bregman and his family, the Major League Baseball player, all-star, maybe Mets third baseman in a month or two.
Oh,
That'd be pretty exciting.
wow.
But anyway, that's a different topic for a different day. But what are we going to get on the Tapeta?
That's a great question. The Matron I didn't think was a strong race at all, and then Sveta made me look stupid. And then whenever I went back on Sveta again, she made me look stupid again. I think I just truly I don't think that the Matron was a strong race.
Yeah,
and that's what she's coming out.
Sveta ran okay the other day, but she's not a graded stakes
No.
filly. So I agree with that in the Matron. We're going to have to try Tapeta. I mean, again, George is coming out firing, blinkers and Lasix today, so we'll see what happens. I want to bring up the replay of Madanata, and there's not much going on here, but I think it's important that she is a Tapeta horse, and she's a darn fast one too.
Exactly. She's going to have company on the front end, but this is a 5 furlong Tapeta race. The best horse might not win today. I do think that there are fillies in here who are much better on the grass that we might not see as good on the Tapeta. This is one who I do not think she's as good as Loris or Obliging, but on the Tapeta, she might be better than them
Well,
today.
today, right, exactly, because she's not as good as those horses, but it's Jose D'Angelo, it's Luis Saez. You're going to get some Lasix, and you get to get inside speed as well. So we'll have to see. You got Patriotic War, who's your morning line favorite for Cassie and Irad, and the pink of Gary Barber. She didn't fire in the Clarendon, but she's got a nice Woodbine, albeit different surface, Tapeta race.
She does. And another thing to note, this is 5 furlongs.
Well,
This is
very snappy.
It's so snappy. So moving from that 6 to the 5, that's a huge difference.
Especially 6 up there to 5 down here is monumental.
Like completely different.
And you've heard us talk a lot. I had a good conversation with Marty Drexler the other day, and he and Billy Therinos for that matter, and they do agree that typically their horses are going to come down here probably going to need a start.
Oh, yeah, completely.
Go watch a race at Woodbine. It's such a cool place. And then watch a race here, and you couldn't come up with two different set of circumstances for not only the Tapeta but the turf as well. Big, expansive course up there. Down here, a lot tighter and a lot sharper, and typically those horses are going to need a race. So it's just something to kind of factor in as we're just kind of getting going here in the championship meet. Let's wrap it up with a pretty much a doozy on the turf in race number 9 here. $75,000 maiden claimer. 3-year-old fillies go at it, a mile and a 16th. Again, the rails at 38 feet today. A clean field of 8. That's the theme on the day. More for sure, and Anel ran last time. We'll show it to you. Anel actually got the better of her, not by much. But let's take a look at the race here.
Yeah, because this is... nobody was going to beat La Quintera. It was like as soon as the bells went off, La Quintera, everybody was on a hard chase for second. Anel maybe was a little bit on a harder chase than More for Sure, but More for Sure, this was the first time in the barn of Fernando Abreu, the first start in a few months. So I feel like the gap of who's going to move forward and whose cards we've already seen Anel's cards. She's going to go out and do that. But More for Sure, the more ground and now more time in a race under her belt in the Abreu barn, I feel like she's the one. And it doesn't do anybody good to play them both.
Yeah, I thought Anel ran way better, but I also agree with everything you just said, because now in the barn now that I think we can all kind of surmise is ticking over a little bit.
True. Fernando
Abreu, you're going to get rolling here, and it might have started already. She added blinkers that day too, so you got that going too.
Right.
Second time blinkers. Yeah. I have to believe the 3 is going to be favored in here. You didn't put her anywhere. I'm not blaming you at all for that, but she's a Brown Klarovich runner with Tyler coming out of a maiden special weight at Aqueduct, and she didn't do a lot of running, but she's got a much better post today.
She does, and the winner came back to win the Tepin next out, so could have been a strong race, but they didn't really bet her too much.
They didn't actually. She was 5-1. Dylan Davis rode that day. She had a bad post. They paid $220. Now she's in for $75. The one thing I always say about this barn and this ownership, it doesn't bother me at all when they drop these kind of horses. Just not part of the program.
No.
And he's 33%, by the way, with this kind of drop. So you're just kind of taking a stand, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, because otherwise,
it could have been so many. Yeah.
You're using everybody. You got Moonlight Gal in second, who tried turf once for Weaver and with a terrible post behind 5G. We know her now.
Yeah, who wins on the dirt and the turf. So.
Yeah, stablemate, actually, now that I think of it. So maybe she gets a little better. Louis aboard today. He'll put some speed in her.
Yep.
Compelling finale,
it is.
to be sure, to wrap up what's a pretty compelling card. We've got a lot to do in the lightning round. Let's rip it off now. As we do now, each and every Wednesday, we'll take a look at the standings here. And Jock's first, right? And the only question is Irad still doubling everybody else?
I think he probably is.
Think so?
So we'll see.
Wow.
Is that doubling?
That is doubling.
There you
Trust
go.
me.
And the podium is you got to give your hats off to all of these guys because they're riding hard.
Well, I'm going to give my hats off to Tyler Gaffleon's phenomenal, but I want to just Edgard and Lionel and Edwin, our guys year-round kind of guys. And as we've said, time and time again, and this is what kind of proves our point a little bit, these guys can ride with anybody, and as you see it on the standings and the leaderboard, they're making a very comfortable dent to kick off the championship meet, and that is good to see. Safi, as I'm quite sure, is atop the trainer standings here, but Jose D'Angelo, that's a big start for Jose.
Yeah, a huge one.
Yep.
Huge start for Victor Barboza
Sure
as well. All of these barns, they've been doing great, and as we're starting to get into Pegasus time, Holy Bull time, this is watch for barns like Todd Pletcher because this is when they start bringing out the big runners.
Don't quote me, but I'm pretty darn positive Victor did not even have 11 wins all last championship.
Yeah, I think it was probably not. No.
So that's a good job there, and Todd Pletcher will be probably second pretty soon. He's going to start unleashing, I think, a lot of younger horses as we run these maiden special weights and all that kind of stuff. Mandatory? Do we have it or no? We talked about it, but
we did. Yeah, I put it in the email.
Yeah,
didn't I?
hot
Okay.
dog is way more. Oh, there we go.
Thanks,
okay.
guys.
All right.
There we go. This isn't hot dog, but this could be.
That's hot dog. Yeah.
It is. The mandatory rainbow. Thank you for everybody for sending it in. Just shy of $3 million in the pool on Sunday. $36,000 you got paid out.
20-cent bet. So congratulations to everybody that scored on that, and we'll run that back pretty soon. But as we say, it builds very, very quickly around here, and it will not take long to get up to $500,000 as we jump the gun. But the old hot dog there, this is
new. Yeah,
this is pretty cool. I like this.
This is exciting. Today is Wiener Wednesday, so you can wager $10 and you get a hot dog, free hot dog.
I'm gonna test it out to see if I can get like 14 free hot dogs, if we wager 140.
Okay, I wasn't going to do the maths
you
on
weren't
that one,
do
but,
the maths, but we'll see.
We're going to try them out today and let everybody know. But we're Wednesday today.
Yep, right
exciting.
Here at Gulfstream, exactly. And it's what is obviously always exciting is the Pegasus World Cup, and that is on January 25th. Another round of nominations will be out today. Not a lot of bobbing and weaving, but there was some cool news earlier that First Racing is going to partner with New Zealand in that our turf races here. Now the Pegasus Filly and Mare Turf and the Pegasus World Cup Turf are now going to serve as win and you're in races for a couple pretty salty Group 1s over in New Zealand on March the 8th on their Champions Day, and that's the Group 1 Whirlpool New Zealand Thoroughbred Breeders Stakes, as well as the Bone Crusher New Zealand Stakes. Two Group 1s over there.
Do we have the slate for the first round of invitations, guys, for the turf race?
There we go.
Oh, thanks, guys. Okay, so
this is the main body of the race, by the way.
Yeah, this doesn't have the AEs. This is and look, one of these grass runners here can get an entry into New Zealand. It's kind of exciting. They stipend the trip over there. We watched the work of Balnikov this weekend. He's gearing up for the Pegasus World Cup Turf. And Johannes, man, what a cool horse he is.
Yeah, Johannes is going to try to get 9 panels over here on our right, and he is world class. Second in the Breeders' Cup Mile, and just won a stakes at our sister track at Santa Anita. We want to give everybody a shout out there out west as well with all that's going on out there, and wish everybody,
be safe,
both humans and equines, to be safe and sound with the unfortunate circumstances out there right around Santa Anita for that matter. Your best bet today?
It is Live to Ride for me in race number 4.
Okay. I got my long shot. Who's my best bet? Apollo Code.
All
Okay,
right.
61, Apollo Code. You got her on top as well. Your long shot's 2 scratches in that race, unfortunately.
Yeah, Shibuji for
Yeah.
me.
Okay.
Back to the dirt.
Yep, and 21 for me. Singing Sandra in race 2, the 1 horse, 8-1. Your top pick as well, so I don't know if we're going to get that, but trying something new today on the main track.
Like it.
Yep, Pete's upstairs. He's only got a little bit to do, so we didn't leave him a lot of time, but that kind of sort of worked out. So we'll send it up to him back here for the opener. Ronnie's coming out, Big Rainbow 6 to start anew today in race number 4, and we are happy to have you aboard on just a beautiful day here in Hollandale Beach.